Hello, everyone. My name is April Carter, and I want to talk about what it is like to be autistic. Before I start talking, I do want to say that there are different levels of autism. I'm what people would consider a high functioning autistic. My daughter is also a high functioning autistic. Um, I read somewhere that it's genetic, but I want to talk about my life and my experiences with people. Um, they say that autism actually goes undiagnosed in girls the most due to the fact that, when you're young and you're just like super, super, super shy, they just say, oh, she's a girl, she's just shy. But I've actually been like that all of my life, to the point where there were even boys who I liked who made moves on me, and I still ran from them. I guess that probably was a good thing though. But um, the best way that I can describe it is the fact that what seems normal to me is weird to other people. Um, like for instance, like if I walk into a room and I don't know anybody, I'm sitting over in the corner minding my own business, and that's pretty much how I conduct myself all the time. Whereas to other people, they'll say, "Oh, she's weird," because I'm not talking. Or I remember when I went into when I was in the military, and a lot of people used to go to the clubs all the time, and I would rather just enjoy the quiet time and just read a book somewhere. And people would actually say that I was weird because, because of that. I get that a lot, that I'm weird. But the thing about it is, I don't really care too much because, first of all, that word weird is not really a nice word. And I feel like my autism exposes people. Um, they I think when first of all, when you have autism, um, it's a little hard to express yourself. So therefore, most of the times, people have no idea how smart you really are. They have no idea how strong you really are. And that kind of has been my experience throughout my entire life, actually. Um, that's fine though, because people don't need to know what you're thinking all the time. But the fact that I do have issues sometimes with expressing myself, sometimes I would speak my mind, and that might, I don't know, come off as rude sometimes. But I try not to, because the thing about it is, being autistic, I actually am a super duper empath, and I feel people's pain. And when I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings or be disrespectful or anything like that, but I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. Like my heart, I do have a big heart, and I'm very kind to people. But I lied to you not. People will say something, make a nasty comment about me. Even if they were, like, I remember with this one job I had, somebody said that I was weird, and some girl who knew me and we was cool, she was like, well, would it name one thing, you know that makes her weird, or what did she say to you, or what did she do to you, to have you thinking that she's weird. And the girl couldn't name not one thing. you know and it's I don't know, it's just not a nice thing to say to somebody. And it's funny because, like I said, having autism, you know, you are super sensitive. And it's like when I come across other people who have issues, I can see it immediately. There was one time where one of my coworkers, she was bothered about something, and I could just tell just by looking at her just for 2 seconds that something was wrong. And I think I don't know if we were supposed to work on something. I was supposed to ask for her help, but she seemed so disturbed about something. I didn't bother her, and I just did it myself. And what happened was later on, I said, she's like, well, why didn't you tell me? I said, well, you seemed like something was bothering you, so I thought I'd leave you alone and give you some time to, think or whatever. And she's like, that's funny because, like, something was going on. And she was like, well, I'm doing the best I could to hide it. But I could see immediately that something was wrong. And it's amazing to me how, like, no offense to so-called, but these so-called normal people, they don't figure, they can't figure that out. You know, they can't figure that out, that something could be wrong with you. Maybe that's the reason why you're so standoffish, or maybe, see, me personally, like, I don't talk trash behind other people's back, and that, sort of can be considered weird. I don't know. But all I know, that's something that I get a lot. But it doesn't, I don't mind, because I feel like my autism kind of exposes people. Like I said, people don't realize how strong you are, or what's going on behind your eyes. And the truth is, in life, you can't really trust a lot of people anyway. And if people are going to say something mean about me, and you don't even know me, you don't even know why I'm so standoffish, or why I'm so quiet, or why I'm so kind, or whatever, I don't feel like I need those people anyway. You just help me out, as far as I'm concerned. You want people around who's going to genuinely love you and respect you. And if something's going on in your life, it's important that people, are, I feel like it's important to me that people are as sensitive to my feelings as I am to other people on a regular. Having autism, I don't know, I always felt out of place. I always felt like I didn't belong. When you're autistic, especially when you grow up, sometimes you're just embarrassed for absolutely no reason at all. It's like when things are supposed to be a certain way all the time, and it's not, and like, if you have like a routine, or I'll have to say something like this, like, when I was growing up, my dad always told me never to allow a man to beat on me. So when I come across guys who act a certain way, like, I don't want to say, well, it kind of drives me crazy. It kind of drives me insane a little bit. But, so I don't, of course I don't, why would you want to, bother with somebody who is abusive? But I know that people try to treat me a certain way. And I'm going to literally do an example right now, because, and the girls who are around, and this was something that was recent. One of my instructors at the cosmetology school that I went to, she was very mean to me. And she had issues anyway, kind of, because, like, I had talked to other people who she had offended and was kind of, picking on or whatever. And what happened was, like, I remember when I was in the military, like, we would address someone as their position first and then their last name. It's a sign of respect, actually. And so a lot of times, and then on top of that, I not only am I autistic, but I also have PTSD, from the military, and it affects my memory sometimes. And just when you just getting to know somebody, there were times when I would forget her name, so I would call her either Miss, or I would say instructor, and she would just ignore me. She would just ignore me, and I'm like, why is this woman treat me like this? It's like, it was one time where I literally was just staring at her. I'm like, is she really acting like this? It really blows my mind sometimes, how people can be. People are very interesting. I was thinking about taking out psychology one time just to study the human mind, I guess. But she was so very mean. But I guess, when you have people who have bullyish behavior, I guess they kind of look for somebody to prey on. And the fact that, like I said, my autism keeps me a little reserved. I'm a little quiet. I observe things that's going on around me. I don't really talk too much sometimes. And I honestly, I don't know, like, it's safer inside of my own head. Even with my PTSD, like it's hard for me to sleep. My mind is always racing. So there's always a lot going on inside of my mind. So therefore, it's a safe place for me. So where it's nice and noisy out here, if I'm just going inside of my mind and kind of not paying attention to what's going on outside, it's a safe place for me. That's the best way I can kind of describe. But I was also dealing with depression. I do suffer with depression too, but that didn't take huge spot in my life until like the military. Like the PTSD really got to me really bad. But I was suffering with quite a few things, and um, I don't know. People can sense sometimes when you're different, and if they feel like you're weak and they want to bother you, I don't know. I guess they just go ahead and do that. But yeah, she was really mean to me. She would ignore me when I was talking to her. I would come up to her and try to show her my work, and then she'd walk away. And every time that she would do that, me and another classmate would just look at each other and laugh like, "Wow!" And she would say, "April, she definitely don't like you." And the thing about it is, like, I don't tell people that I have, mental like disabilities. I don't tell them that because I feel like why should I have to? It's like at the end of the day, you shouldn't be treating people like this anyway. And it was other people in the classroom who saw it as well. But I wound up getting put out the class. But yeah, she was very mean. And but like I said before, I feel like my autism kind of exposes people because like I said, when you don't appear as strong as you really are. Like if I told people about my life, they would be like, huh, but I guess that's kind of how it is, you know with autism. um Definitely a gift and a curse. But when I find people who are, you know friends, like good friends, good people, I really find them, and we wound up being really cool. And yeah, I guess that's it for now. Thank you very much for watching.